From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Hannah Mordeau, and this is your News 8 Daily for Friday, June 6th. Pacers fans here in Indiana are waking up with probably some tired eyes, some hoarse voices from what was just a spectacular buzzer beater shot last night. Pacers winning the first game in the NBA Finals. More on that in a moment. First, though, your forecast starting out a little foggy this morning. Those are going to burn off as the morning goes on. We're going to climb up into the upper 70s and could see some cloudy skies mostly throughout the day.
Instacart is on a mission to have you not leave the couch this basketball season, because between the pregame rituals and the postgame interviews, it can be difficult to find time for everything else. So let Instacart take care of your game day snacks or weekly restocks and get delivery in as fast as 30 minutes, because we hear it's bad luck to be hungry on game day. So download the Instacart app today and enjoy $0 delivery fees on your first 3 orders. Service fees apply for 3 orders in 14 days. Excludes restaurants.
Haliburton has it with 3, driving with 2, pulling up, and hitting with 0.3 of a second to go. How many more times can this team do that?
Mark Boyle of the Pacers Radio Network asking the question we're all asking this morning after that buzzer beater. We're running out of the adjectives to describe Tyrese Haliburton and the Pacers. Yet another huge fourth quarter comeback punctuated by Haliburton gives the Pacers a thrilling 111-110 victory in Oklahoma City last night. Pacers never led the entire game until that final shot. In 48 minutes, they were only ahead for 0.3 of 1 second, but it was the only fraction that counted. News 8's Andrew Chernoff is in Oklahoma City and has the historic start to the NBA Finals.
You're rewatching that play over and over and over again, and I think we did the same exact thing after he hit the game winner against the Bucks, and then the game winner against the Cavs, and then the game winner against the Knicks. It just never ceases to amaze you how Tyrese Haliburton is clutch, and I think that's a fair word to say at the end of these games. Haliburton is clearly a clutch basketball player. You saw it on that last play. Let's take a look at this again. Taking it up the court again. He was going to shoot that shot whether he wanted to or not, whether or not other people wanted him to or not. He was so confident, and that's been a huge thing with him on this team is these guys trust, they believe everything that Tyrese Haliburton is doing on the court. He even said as soon as it left his hands, he knew that shot was probably going into the basket. So a lot of confidence there. The guys on the team understood what happened last night. Wasn't the prettiest performance, but at the end they still got a W. And as you mentioned, leading by just 0.3 of a second, 0.3 seconds. That was the first time the Pacers led. But you know what? At the end of the day, a win is a win.
I think we're just a really resilient group. We just do a great job of just sticking in and just settling into the game. And through the course of the game, it kept getting. It felt like it could get ugly. It could, who knows where this game is heading. I thought we did a great job of just walking them down. I don't know what you say about it. I just know that this group is a resilient group, and, we don't give up till it's 0.
We've had a lot of experience in these kinds of games, and our guys have a real good feel for what it's all about, giving ourselves a chance, and we got fortunate, but made plays.
It's a resilient group, a team that just plays to the very end, and have continued to do that. And I sound like a broken record, but we have to continue to do that. And very proud, obviously, but not satisfied. We still got work to do.
Just constant belief. We just always believe. And I said it earlier. Any hole that we dig ourselves in, we dug it ourselves, so we can dig our way out of it.
It's absolutely amazing just how this Pacers team continues to pull off these upsets. This is the 5th time this postseason alone that they've come back to win a game after trailing by 15 or more points. Just an unbelievable stat. And they say it every single time we talk to them after these wins. 48 minutes is what you have to play against the Pacers. Not 47 minutes and 50 seconds, 47 minutes and 55 seconds. You have to play a full 48 because the Pacers are never out of a game. And how about this stat? This place behind me, extremely difficult to win at. The last time the Thunder lost to an Eastern Conference team at home, March 2024, which is 15 months ago. And do you know who that loss was to? the Indiana Pacers. So just wild, that full circle moment that is taking place here in OKC.
What the Pacers do, it's we come back. You can never leave early, ever, from a Pacer game, ever.
I don't know. I close my eyes, I prayed, what the hell? Yeah! Go out of town, we still show down. We show up and blow up. This is Indianapolis. This is what we do.
Expect fans across the community to be tired and hoarse this morning, but very happy. The thrilling finish went over very well at the watch party at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. City is truly aglow after the win. This morning, the AES building at Monument Circle was shining bright in blue and gold. Pacers host games 3 and 4 of the finals next week here in Indianapolis, and experts are warning that scammers will try to prey on fans. IT mate's Kyla Russell spoke to a man who tried to save some cash but ended up scoring a fake ticket.
Section 11, row 11, seat 12.
That's Pacers superfan Joshua Short, holding what he thought was a ticket to Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals. But let me take you back to before the ticket was transferred.
Saw, a ticket I liked, and I figured, Ticketmaster has some fees and all that. Maybe I could save some money.
So he went to Facebook Marketplace and began chatting with a seller. He needed 3 tickets.
I offer $400, and he's like, I'll take it. Then he sends me a text message. I had these I could send through Apple Wallet.
Short was skeptical, so he asked if he could just pay for one to make sure he got the ticket, and then he would pay for the following 2.
Like it says valid.
With a barcode and all, he said the ticket looked authentic, but something still felt off.
Hey, give me 20 minutes, and I drove straight to the box office. And the second I got to the box office, I was like, hey, can you scan this ticket and just make sure it's real? They said it was a fake.
Experts say this isn't uncommon.
Many third-party sites may not be legitimate. So I think that's one key difference between now and when the Pacers were last in the finals and the types of fraud that may occur.
And it's not just tickets to the finals that can be tricky, as the Circle City hosts some of sports' biggest events. Something to watch out for if you're trying to score a seat.
Many high-interest scenarios typically have higher levels of fraud associated with them because they are getting a lot more visibility. So the fraud or the benefit of doing the fraud for the fraudsters is going to be a lot higher.
Even so, Short has a message for anyone looking to save a buck when buying tickets for upcoming events.
Know who you're buying from. So, if you don't meet with them in person, and they can't show it to you on their Ticketmaster app, then there's no other way to do it.
I'm Kyla Russell for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
Now to some more serious news. The Rush County Sheriff says a child is dead after a house fire in Arlington. Crews were called to the fully engulfed house on North County Road 700 West at around 2 yesterday afternoon. Sheriff says firefighters learned a small child was inside the house, but they were not able to save them. Child died at that scene. Their name and age and gender has not been released. State Fire Marshal's office is now investigating what started the fire and the child's cause of death. City of Fishers is now 1.5 square miles bigger. The city says it officially annexed 994 acres. It's close to Fishers Agri-Park, mostly in neighborhoods east of Florida Road and south of 113th Street. Area stretches to the Hancock County and Madison County lines and goes down just south of 101st Street. City says the annexation represents about 3,000 people and now makes Fishers the 4th largest city in Indiana. Fisher says the first property tax impact will come next year as the area gains city services. Purdue University is cutting ties with its student-run newspaper, The Exponent. The nonprofit Purdue Student Publishing Foundation, PSPF, owns the paper. According to The Exponent, Purdue emailed the foundation last week saying the school will no longer help distribute the paper on campus. The newspaper's owners say, in part, the PSPF is shocked by Purdue's sudden and seemingly without explanation change in policy, which runs counter to its longstanding commitment to the freedoms of the press afforded in the First Amendment. Purdue University responded with its own statement yesterday saying its contract to distribute The Exponent had long expired. Purdue also says it's not consistent with principles of freedom of expression, institutional neutrality, and fairness to provide services and accommodations described in the letter to one media organization, but not others. The relationship between President Trump and Elon Musk is melting down. Disputes over policy have turned personal in the most public fashion, a series of social media posts. Trump has threatened Musk's government contracts, and Musk claims Trump is in the notorious Epstein files and would never have been elected without Musk. Amy Kiley reports on all of it.
Elon and I had a great relationship. I don't know it well anymore.
Observers say a feud between President Donald Trump and Elon Musk could have consequences for them both. Musk says he doesn't like what Trump calls his big, beautiful bill. Nonpartisan analysis shows it could add $2.4 trillion to the deficit over the next decade. Musk argues that would defeat all the cost savings achieved by Doge.
This is really interesting to see if it will sort of get others to sort of push back at Trump, because if this guy does it, maybe we can do it.
Some fiscal hawks sound fine with the bill dying or changing in the Senate.
I think that patient is on life support.
It's easy to be the parent that says, we're going to go to Disney World. It's hard to be the parent that says, yeah, but we can't afford it.
A repost from Musk about making peace follows his poll about making a new political party.
This is someone who has some means and methods to do something about it.
The feud is hurting Musk, too. The Bloomberg Billionaires Index says his net wealth took a $34 billion hit yesterday, and Tesla's stock fell about 14%. And Trump has the ability to threaten Musk's government contracts.
Trump, of course, can attack him all manner of ways, through the Justice Department, through investigations, impugning him.
I'm Amy Conley for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
Allied naval forces, supported by strong air forces, began landing Allied armies this morning on the northern coast of France.
Just after 3:30 in the morning, 81 years ago, that was the first official announcement from the Supreme Allied Command in London that D-Day had begun. The storming of the beaches in France marked a turning point during World War II. The Indiana War Memorial has a new exhibit tied to the war. News 8's Colin Bailey went there this morning and shows us artifacts from an important ship that are on display.
Yeah, that ship is the USS Indiana BB-58, and here's a replica of it right here. Handmade, all wood. We have some bells in here as well from the USS Indiana and some beautiful artifacts down there as well. And General Stuart Goodwin, thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. Talk about this ship and how it was used in war.
Well, these are 16-inch guns, and this was a whole new way of looking at warfare. And this was from the Dakota class. It was the second ship in the series. And I think the thing that maybe they're most interested in knowing about is that this model was made from scratch. And we had a good friend of ours that was from Florida, and he built the CA-35 model as well. But he started with nothing, all the little details in that business. And so what we decided to do when we dedicated it was that we found about 10 of the plank holders. And plank holders are people that were the first sailors when the ship was commissioned, that they were assigned to it. And it was such a great time. My dad was a World War II guy, and that generation, Brokaw had it right. They are the greatest generation. If they didn't do what they did, we're not here today, and we're not even speaking English type of thing. So they were all wandering around it, and so it was kind of funny because they were down here for a couple hours, and they said, there's not one thing on this ship that is wrong. And I thought that was pretty cool. The ship had a really nice history from the standpoint that it was used in some battles that people know, like Iwo Jima, Guadalcanal. So it was when the heavy fighting was being done. And these 16-inch guns, they would have a projectile that was like a small Volkswagen. Up to 2,700 pounds on the projectile that would go 24 miles. So it gives you some idea of not only it had a flight time of about 1.5 minutes, and it could cover that kind of area.
Thank you for joining us. I appreciate sharing this with us. We'll have more on this all morning long. We'll talk about this and even some of these numbers as well. You said about 70-plus men were in each one of these turrets. We'll have more coming up all morning long. Again, the museum opens at 9 a.m. today. You can come check this out. But for now, here at the Indiana War Memorial, I'm Colin Bailey for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
Back to sports now. Caitlin Clark says doctors will reevaluate her leg injury over the weekend to see when she can get back on the court. Clark has missed the Fever's last 3 games and looks likely to be out on Saturday in Chicago, too. Team is 1-2 without her, but Clark has praise for her teammates.
I think they've been really, really resilient. It's hard when your point guard goes out that controls a lot of the game, and people have kind of had to step into positions that maybe they haven't had, and I think just giving themselves grace. Things aren't going to be perfect. We're kind of playing a little bit different than we would probably play if I had the ball in my hands.
Team is hopeful Clark could return as early as Tuesday when the Fever take on the Atlanta Dream. Colts say quarterback Anthony Richardson will miss minicamp next week with a left shoulder injury. It's the same shoulder he hurt during his rookie season in 2023. Colts say Richardson got hurt last week during organized team activities. Before this, the Colts had said Richardson would have to compete with newly signed Daniel Jones to be a starter next season. Now head coach Shane Steichen says the team is not sure when the former first-round draft pick will return.
We'll see when he comes back. Not going to put a timetable for training camp on it, but when he does come back, we'll ease him into throwing, and then we'll go from there. The good thing is he's not going to need a procedure right now.
Richardson has missed a total of 17 games due to injury over his first 2 seasons. This has been your News 8 Daily from Wish TV. I'm Hannah Mordeau. Watch us on Wish TV and wishtv.com.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening. And be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.